Hello and welcome to the Cat's Meow. I'm Rosalie Mayfield, and this is your weekly news station reporting all the nifty news happening here in the U.S. Today we have a special show, and it's all about the modern woman. Stay tuned for all the new information about everything from glad rags to politics.
Hi, I'm Lillian Baker.
And I'm Eloise Blanchett. And on This Week in Fashion, we'll be gossiping all about the new woman, otherwise known as the flapper.
This new type of Jane has taken the U.S. by storm with their scandalous ways. Flappers are usually young tomatoes, about the age of 19.
They wear dresses, lots of makeup, they're never seen without lipstick, feathers, and heels. All young women nowadays are striving to be like famous flappers such as Clara Bow, who embodies the entire package.
We are here today dressed as flappers for everyone to see.
Flappers reject their mother's Victorian values and are revolutionizing what it means to be a woman. Before, women would never wear such sexual and revealing clothing because that is what men wanted. Women no longer feel the desire to please men after they worked for themselves during World War I. They are now independent and strong and dressed to make themselves happy, which is why they are now presenting themselves as more sexual bearcats.
They are not dumb doors, but they definitely aren't afraid to sew some chassis, considering the length of their dresses.
Oh, Lillian, you slay me. But these women are paving the way for women to become equals with men. Now, since they're dressing for themselves, they will fight for themselves and who they are as people.
Thank you for tuning in. We'll be right back after this short commercial break.
Bonjour, I am Coco Chanel. And I have just created the most wonderful new fad. And this right here could turn any bug-eyed Betty into a keen dom. It is Chanel number 5. And it is the bee's knees. All the fellows are going to be asking you for some cash.
And we're back from that short commercial break.
It's just come in that the requisite number of states has ratified the 19th Amendment, meaning that all dames finally have the right to vote. Today, August 18th, 1920, will go down in history forever. This is a big stepping stone for women in their fight for equal rights with men.
This bill was passed by Congress 441 days ago after the 70-year movement finally caught on. Even before that movement began, Abigail Adams would tell her husband John Adams to remember the ladies during the Constitutional Convention. As you can see, it has been a long journey for women to gain this right. Women have a long way to go from here, but this is a very important start, wouldn't you agree?
Exactly, Lillian. We also have to remember that Susan B. Anthony and Elizabeth Cady Stanton for everything that they did as well. They combined their women's suffrage organizations to create the National American Women's Suffrage Association, which really helped to publicize our rights.
How could I forget? Thank you to all the dolls that helped us get to this point.
Now we're going to cut to our Man on the Street portion of the show, where Caroline Moore is going to interview people on the street about the new woman.
Good day. My name is Caroline Moore, and today we will be finding out what our fellow citizens think of the new woman, known as the flapper. What's your opinion on the new woman?
Boy, do I have some beef on that. This flapper stuff is a bunch of baloney. Smoking their ciggies and drinking their giggling water is absolutely an abomination to our culture. Parents need to guide their children in the right direction, far from this substance abuse and sex.
Well, I'm part of the International Women's Suffrage Alliance, and there's no doubt in my mind that these flappers are not free spirits. They're simply conformists. Women do not wear short skirts or bobbed hair by their own election, but in obedience to the dictum of faction.
These flappers give me the heebie-jeebies. I would be ashamed to be a dapper. These dumb Doras prancing around the streets at night are too scandalous. They need to go back to the kitchens and hide their gams.
It is absolutely disturbing that women are abandoning their traditional values and pursuing independent lifestyles. Marriage is going out of fashion as a vocation, and a great deal of nonsense is being talked about men and women working together side by side. Motherly roles and duties as wives are more fundamental than independence and masculinity that these flappers are chasing.
The test today for the educated woman is her usefulness in the community as well as in the home and in business. Certainly there will be no room for the frivolous flapper. Flappers do not have real productive value in our society.
The flapper is the bee's knees. It's a brilliant revolution for us women, and any bimbo who disagrees is just sad that he won't have a woman making him a sandwich.
We grew up before the post-war disillusionment engulfed the youth of the land and created futilitarian literature, gym parties, and jazz babies. Our generation should have been thoroughly revolted by the promiscuous pawing and petting permitted by so many technically virtuous younger women today.
I am a Harvard psychologist, and I did a study on the intelligence of flappers by administering hundreds of intelligence tests to students. Flappers are the poorest students. They just like to work, they're very impatient, and fail to apply knowledge which they acquire in school. Flappers are reckless and only pursue personal gratification.
Well, there you have it, folks. This is Caroline signing off.
I'm Orville Anderson, and I'm here with Bessie Coleman, the first African-American woman to get her pilot's license. After being rejected from American flight schools, she traveled to France to learn how to fly. In 1921, Bessie earned her license, 2 years before Amelia Earhart. Back in America, Bessie became a barnstormer, and her stunts earned her the nickname Queen Bess. Currently, Bessie is... Although Bessie never wore a flapper dress, she is a modern woman in her own right, taking control of her future and not letting anyone limit her.